in a way, it is. When you get to a point where I was, because literally where I was when I started this, it was like, okay, I need to do this. It was the whole do or die thing, like 50 Cent said, get rich or die trying. This was kind of it. Where I was in life at that point was, I need to lose weight, I need to change my body, or basically die trying. I was willing to give it anything. And when a human being comes to a point where they're willing to do anything to achieve something, that is a very, very dangerous and destructive individual. They're destructive to themselves, to their environment, and everyone else around them. And that's where I was. It has not been easy being my friend during these months. I'll tell you this, sharing my space, not easy. I have not been a happy camper. So I knew it. I knew the dangers, which of course, in a way, is better than going somewhere not knowing what you're doing. But what I did is that I always had a plan, my next step, my plan B, plan C, and even plan F. Because I knew that I wouldn't be able to do this long term. I knew that I had a lot of fat reserves, so it will work for a while, and it did. It worked for a while. I could do my workouts. I would function and all that kind of stuff. But you know how people say they meet the wall sometimes? Well, let's just say I got slammed into that with head first. Kind of like just broke down. At that point, this is when I had to increase my food. Of course, I knew that point was coming. I just wasn't sure when it was coming. That has happened to me like twice, and now the third time because I'm way overtrained and undernourished. So I'm working on that. I have to do a recuperation month when I'm actually doing very light exercises, eating a lot more, and actually trying to build my metabolism back up. Because another thing that happens when you go into a starvation type diet is your metabolism goes way down, because your body is a survival tool. It wants to survive no matter what. It does not give a shit about what you feel. So it'll slow down your metabolism. It'll start storing energy, storing fat as best as possible in the way that it can. And it does affect your hunger. So I was actually less hungry when I was doing a starvation diet, because again you're in this survival mode. But when I had tapped out all my reserves and I had to start increasing my food, and the body actually realized that, hey, the famine is over, that's when my trouble really started. Really started. I've had no body temperature. I've been ice cold most of my days. I'm still suffering from that. Like in between meals, about maybe hour and a half, 2 hours into the meal, I'll get ice cold. And my workouts, when I'm working out, maybe 30 minutes in, I'll get ice cold. And the reason for that is, again, because your metabolism is like non-existent. When your metabolism isn't working, your body temperature won't work. It'll stay cold. When I started, increasing my food at the beginning, I worked my way up to about 1,600 calories. I didn't want to make too big of a jump and shock the body, so I was working my way slowly up. When I come to about 1,600 calories, it was hell. Because I would eat, and I would eat 3 eggs. I would fry up 3 eggs in a non-stick pan without any oil or any spray or anything. Yes, I know Teflon can be deadly, but we all have to take some poison. And 3 eggs is a lot of nutrition. And yes, I eat whole eggs. And yes, they will not kill you. And no, the cholesterol will not increase your cholesterol. And again, I will make a new video on that. But 3 eggs is a lot of food, and I would eat that with like 150 grams of green beans, and it would take me literally 3 minutes, and I would be starving again. Why? Because your body is starting to coming out of the famine mode, and now it's going into the reservation mode. It's actually starting to reserve its food, its energy, kind of like the bear in the summer when it starts filling up its storage, because it's going to hibernate through the winter. And my body was constantly sending out hunger signals. This is the reason why many actually come to the point where I am, with a starvation diet or a low-calorie diet, and when they kind of go, all right, I've taken off my 50 pounds, my 25 kilos, and I can relax, and they start eating, and they actually end up heavier than they were, Ever seen that or ever experienced that? That's the reason. Because first of all, your body wants to go back to its equilibrium. And if you've been like, say you weighed about, like me, 140 pounds, 240 pounds, about 110 kilos for at least 7 years. That is what your body is used to. That is its fat storage. And now it's just been through a famine and it's actually had to use its reserves. Oh, it wants to go back. It wants to go back to its natural state and then some. And it just didn't matter. I was hungry all the time. And you have no idea what kind of mental strength it takes to be hungry all the time and still just eat what you're supposed to eat and not snack and not eat anything else and not eat anything more. That is hard. I couldn't focus on my training, couldn't focus on work, couldn't focus on anything. Another thing is, that your insulin goes haywire. Your lipids are not being produced. Lipids are what suppresses, tells your brain that you're full. So you can stop eating. And my body just wanted to eat. I still am lethargic. Very fatigued almost all the time. Talking about it's affected my testosterone production. It has affected my muscle building. I have not gained any strength or muscles the last couple of months. Even if I've been training hard. Again, overtraining will occur much easier when you're not getting enough nutrition and enough sleep. Sleep hasn't been a problem. Some days are better than others, but nutrition was. So again, that's why I've cut down on my workouts and increased my food. I'm on a much more healthier diet now. I'm still working. I work my way up to about 2,000 calories. I'll keep it to that. See what that does. If if I still keep losing weight when I start really training, then I'll increase my food even more. Stabilize my weight and get a maintenance calorie. After that, of course, I'm not where I want to be body-wise, but now I want to stabilize, gain some muscle, gain some strength, and then I'll cut down some calories again to lose a little weight. And sorry about that. Just my other computer turning off. And actually I do this more in levels now, in a healthier way. And of course I'll tell you what and how I eat. I'll do that probably for my next video, so you know how I do it and some suggestion on how you can do it. Just some quick suggestion. I don't recommend you cut out your calories, at least not drastically. Increase your workouts. Don't cut out your fats. Fats are very important for your body, and eating fats will actually help you lose fat. But again, we're talking about the right kinds of fat. So always the right kind of fat, right kind of protein, right kind of carbohydrate. Always the right kind and a wrong kind. There's use, there's abuse, and all that sort of stuff. So you need to get informed on that. Come check out my blog. Much more information on that. As I said in the beginning, I'll say it again. Do not recommend you cut your calories as drastically as I did. At the max, if you're going to do it, try cutting it by about 500 calories from your maintenance calorie. Again, pay attention to your macronutrient. You need your carbs, you need your protein, and you need your fat. You need all three to survive. There's a reason why they exist in the natural world. If they exist in the natural world, then you need it. It's not going to kill you. A very beautiful thing that Sean Croxton of Underground Wellness said, basically said, is the creator stupid? Is nature stupid? It's like we have evolved in this world for, millions and millions of years. And why would nature put a type of fat in eggs that would kill you? But again, it all comes down to how you eat. Of course, if you're eating like, 30 eggs a day, of course you're going to have some side effects. Hell, even water has side effects. If you drink too much water, you can get overhydrated. But too much water is a lot of water. So it's all about quantities, all about some things moderation. It's all about lifestyle. It's all about what kind of food you're eating. A fat from a McDonald's burger or French fries are very different than the fat that's actually in your meat. In your red meat, in your steak. The fat in your eggs, in your salmon, and all that. We're going to talk about salmon. Very important. Do not eat farm-raised salmon. That is the, just don't do it. Farm salmon is not even pink. You know that? The farm salmon is kind of like a gray meat, and they actually paint it to become pink, because all kinds of growth hormones and stuff in that. So stay away from that. Use the money on the real stuff, on the real foods and on whole foods, organic foods, because the foods that you eat, that is your insurance. That is your health insurance. A very cheap one at that. But I'll catch you later. We'll talk more about that. Thanks for listening to me at this time. Peace.